This is a standard question about sort of rates of work. And again, if we organise ourselves a little bit, then it makes our life a lot easier. So we have Peter, we have Simon, and we have the two of them together. And we're told the time taken for the two of them together would be 4, and we're asked to work out what individually how long it would take. So what we'll do is we'll actually call, now Peter takes 15 hours more than Simon, so Simon's the lesser amount, so it'd be easy to call Simon the time taken x, and Peter is x plus 15. Individually, that's how long they'll take, but if together, it's 4. Now, what we're actually interested in to some extent is the rate, the speed at which they can, each of them can build the wall. So it's a bit like a speed, distance, time question. So if we think of the distance, distance is one wall. And so therefore the speed, and if you think about Dad's silly triangle, we have a situation where speed is distance divided by time. So Peter's speed or rate of work is 1 over x plus 15. Simon's is 1 over x. And together it's 1 over 4. So together, working together, they can have a rate of a quarter of a wall per hour. And we can see the rates as being in hours, walls, and wall per hour. So together they can do quarter of a wall per hour. Simon can do 1 over x of a wall per hour, and Peter could do 1 over x plus 15 of a wall per hour. And the key idea here is if you think about Peter and Simon together, they can do a quarter of a wall per hour. Now, that quarter is made up of the two of them working together. So if we just take their rates and add them together, that's how much Peter can do in an hour, that's how much Simon can do in an hour. And together it makes, in terms of a work rate, up to their combined rate of a quarter. And so it's now a matter of solving that as an equation. So if we multiply by the common denominator, so basically if we multiply by 4 and by x plus 15, we end up with 4x plus 4 lots of x plus 15 equaling to x plus 15. Opening it up and tidying up terms, we end up with 8x plus 60 is equal to x squared plus 15x, and that all ties up to a quadratic of x squared plus 7x minus 60 equal to 0. And we now need to solve that as a quadratic equation. So all we have to do is ask ourselves what two numbers multiplied together make minus 60 and add together to make 7. And we will realise that 12 and minus 5 will do that. And we end up with a factorised form of x plus 12, x minus 5 equals 0. I don't need to go through that process. I've skipped steps, but you don't need me to go through that with you. But we end up with solutions of x equals to minus 12 and x equals to 5. Now, if we think about those two answers for a moment, one has a value of minus 12. You can't have a time of minus 12. So in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to reject that as a possible value and accept that x equals 5 is our correct solution. And so if we think about what we have here, x is equal to 5, and therefore x plus 15 is going to equal to 20. And so Simon is 5 hours, Peter is 20 hours. and we realised we probably wouldn't really give Peter the job. We would just let Simon do it and just pay Simon and not bother paying Peter at all, because he's fairly useless if he takes 20 hours to do a job that Simon only takes 5 hours to do. But there we go.